Howdy, 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 my name's Anachi Sasuke, and welcome back to Let's Read the SCP Foundation Wiki. In the last episode, it was episode 100, and we went through, like, 31 entries? It was really long. It was half a minute shy of 3 hours. This episode's not going to do that. This episode's going to go back to being 5. We're going to start with Mr. Lonely, and we're going to go through Cargo Ship. So, let's get that started. Well, Mr. Lonely is Euclid. Due to SCP-451's current state, physical containment is not feasible. Wouldn't that mean that it's Keter, then? Extensive study of Agent J's psychological profile has allowed researchers to provide him with a mental task in order to keep him at Site-19. A security detail of 2 guards must accompany 451 at all times in order to prevent attempts to access or release other potentially dangerous objects contained on site. Any research into 451 should be restricted to determining ways to contain or communicate with him. SCP-451, formerly Agent MJ, maybe it's Michael Jackson, I don't know, is a Caucasian male, 33 years of age, nope, and 1.6 meters tall. He cannot perceive the presence or actions of other human beings. Changes made to the immediate environment are generally not noted by 451 unless his attention is elsewhere for any arbitrary period of time. Certain changes to 451's surroundings are misinterpreted, including all attempts to communicate with him and any clear evidence of direct human intervention. Study may be necessary to determine a pattern in what is perceived and what is not. 451 first appeared at Site-19 1 month after he was declared MIA following a failed attempt to retrieve a dangerous artifact. The actions of 451 were found to be consistent with stress responses indicated in Agent J's psychological profile. Reports of petty thefts and ghost sightings between the artifact's location at Site-19 suggest that 451 traveled here on foot, taking what resources were at hand. The artifact itself remains at large. Addendum 1. He has recently shown suicidal tendencies. Despite how many staff feel about his presence, it is no excuse for him for providing him with convenient methods of self-termination. 451 was a valuable agent before his accident, and can be again if he ever regains his full perception. Addendum 2. Following the events described in Incident Report 1, further attempts at convincing 451 to self-terminate will result in suspensions of all involved personnel. We have him classified as Euclid for a reason. Addendum 3. Though direct communication is not possible with 451, it has been found that active attempts to deceive him have varying rates of success. A program has been put in place to plant false evidence for 451. His psychological profile indicates that he will construct a narrative using this evidence. This plot line is intended to keep 451 at Site-19, where he may continue to be monitored. Contingencies have also been made in case any evidence is overlooked or misinterpreted. Incident 451-1. On July 8, 2000-something, 451 discovered a firearm left for him by Site-19 staff. He entered the main break room, placed the weapon in his mouth, and fired it. The bullet passed through 451 without harming him and entered a Level 2 researcher. The researcher was briefly able to interact with 451 before expiring. Unfortunately, no useful information was passed on to 451. Document A, contents of the journal. June the 5th. It's been a month since everyone in the world disappeared. I should have never touched Redacted. I should have called for backup. At the least, someone else would be to blame for killing off the human race. I'm in Blanc right now. The last town before I reach Site-19. Decided to take a pen and notebook and write down what I can in case there's another survivor somewhere. Blanc is just like all the other towns I've been to, as though it was abandoned just a minute ago. There are cars parked by the sidewalks and hot food on the tables. I'd assume time is just standing still, but there's still a day and night and the calendars are always right. Things make less sense now than when it first happened. Tomorrow I'm going to make my way to Site-19. If there are any answers anywhere, that's where they'll be. Maybe I can even find a way to undo the damage. Site-19 is just like the towns. The security gate was open when I got there. The cafeteria had the lunch menu up, including my favorite. I helped myself to a little bit of it and put the rest in the fridge so it doesn't go bad. It's funny. When I was a kid, I fantasized about this. Everyone would be gone, and I could go where my parents wouldn't let me and eat all the candy I wanted. Might actually be enjoying this if I hadn't grown out of it. I'm using my old quarters as my base of operations. Everything's been moved around in there, and a lot of the stuff isn't mine. Tried to listen to this Norwegian band that was in the CD player. Couldn't stand them, so I put the CDs in the quarters next door. I think it belonged to Agent Rommel way back when. Used to have some good times with him. This is going to be tougher than I thought. Went back to the cafeteria this morning. Food was still steaming in the trays, half-eaten meals all over the tables. Checked in the fridge to help myself to some reheated tomato soup and couldn't find it anywhere. And then I realized that the breakfast menu was up. What the hell? Maybe I didn't read it right yesterday and it was the same menu then? But still, where the hell did my soup go? Maybe the boredom is getting to me. Haven't done anything constructive since I got here. Tomorrow I'm going to start looking through recent documents to see if anyone noticed anything. Okay. Terminals won't accept my access codes. Should have known it wouldn't be that easy. I managed to find Rommel's codes where he usually hides them. God bless your shitty memory, Rommel, wherever you are. So far, all I could find were some of his active cases. Tomorrow I'm going to use some backdoors with Rommel's access and find me some good stuff in there. Went to the terminal right after getting up. Now Rommel's password won't work either. Spent 2 hours trying to get in before I gave up. Might have to start looking for paper records. Went to the cafeteria and found the lunch menu up. No tomato soup. There was cream of mushroom instead. No plates on the tables anymore either. Took some grilled ham and cheese, went back to my quarters. I need to think. Starting to feel like I'm being followed. Probably just paranoid. Broke into Dr. Blanc's office. File folder was on her desk. Looked away for a moment and it was gone. I might be crazy, but I know it was there. Managed to pick the lock on the file cabinets, but they wouldn't budge when I tried to open them. Almost felt like they were pulling themselves shut. Tried in 5 other offices and the same thing happened. June the 12th, 2000-something. Went to the cafeteria this morning. Breakfast menu. Went back 4 hours later and lunch menu was up. Went one more time at 1700 and saw the dinner menu. Either I'm going crazy or the world is. Still feel like I'm being followed all the time, so I can't count out option 1. Knocked over a file cabinet and actually finally managed to grab some files before the drawer slammed itself shut. Files included 173, 945, and 657. Nothing that really sheds light on the situation. Folders disappear right after I put them down. Bullshit! Every file cabinet I can find is bolted to the walls now. Can't even knock them over. Even the ones I went to before wouldn't budge. At least the cafeteria had tomato soup again. Right now I'll take what I can get. Researchers attempted to communicate by writing in the journal. This was overwritten by 451. Data illegible. Pissed in the chicken curry! And I think stuff is disappearing from my room now. Pens missing. Stole one from Rommel's room. Given up wearing clothes. Realized Site 19 is temperature controlled, so all I really need are some sneakers. Not like anyone will see me. Still can't find anything useful. I'm blocked everywhere I go. Woke up shivering. Thermometer said it's only 5 Celsius. Wish I didn't put my clothes in the incinerator. Stole some from Rommel's room. Too big for me, but at least I can stay warm. Warm again? Yesterday was cold as hell. Could be things are finally starting to break down. Should have happened a long time ago. And cold. It's like when the sun's only out if you have an umbrella, and then it's pissing down if you leave it at work. Compromised by wearing a bathrobe. Probably for the best. I still feel those invisible eyes on me. Haven't done any researching for over a week. Can't be bothered. Liver and onions for lunch today. Fried chicken. Veggie burgers, threw them in the trash. Beef stir fry. Could've used some soy sauce, but it was all gone. Pizza day, no Hawaiian, total bust. 2nd month anniversary since I killed everyone yesterday. Celebrated with some beer stashed behind Rommel's desk. Drank a second one for him. Drank another for each person I killed until I passed out. Woke up in a pool of vomit with what felt like an axe in my skull. Hair of the dog took the edge off. Rommel's room empty. Should have known that wouldn't last. Ate a whole freaking submarine sandwich, which I didn't. Found a story by Harlan Ellison in someone's quarters. Almost fits me to a T, but what's the point in screaming if nobody's around to hear it? The 5th one. I'm a fucking coward. Can't even kill myself without asking for help. Went into 173's room and closed my eyes. Son of a bitch didn't even touch me. Instead, data redacted. Wish I just disappeared with the rest of them. Decided to chill with a few more SCPs. Still alive. Fucking useless. I found some razor blades on the floor of my room and a noose hanging from the ceiling. Couldn't go through with it? Still need help to do this. Found a gun. That should finish me off. Going to the break room to get this done. Been nice talking to you. I saw someone! Failed at killing myself, but I got him good. Ran to the infirmary to get first aid and supplies. He was gone by the time I got back. So was the gun. Couldn't even see any blood. There was a memo behind my desk. Don't quite know what it means, but it basically says everyone's going to die according to 657's predictions. Tells people to make peace with their gods and to enjoy their final moments. Looks almost legit if it weren't for the date of their deaths. July 11th. Today. The memo's changed, now the date is July 12th. I think I've got a theory brewing in my head. I'm traveling between dimensions, and each one I visit, the human race has just disappeared a moment ago. It all fits together. That explains why documents keep disappearing right in front of me, why nothing seems to break down even though it's been 2 months, why I keep getting regular meals all the time. If I keep popping between dimensions, it might be possible for me to find a way back home. Site 19 still has the best resources to get this done. I just Have to figure out what they are. Found something interesting. Looks like the artifact I was trying to recover is wound up in the Foundation's hands in these parallel dimensions. Could be the key to getting out of this mess. The search is on to find the thing's SCP designation and get my claws on it. This is my last entry in this journal as I've run out of room. Serves me right for stealing a dollar store, or from a dollar store. I'm leaving this in my quarters for safekeeping. Even though everything else changes moment by moment, things seem to stay constant here, aside from the memos. 657 keeps giving me today's date as the end of the world. I'm keeping my new journal with me at all times. If I shift without it, a lot of data might be lost. I don't want that to happen. Goodbye, dear journal, you've served me well. Due to 451's compulsion to keep the second journal on his person at all times, it is not currently possible to determine its contents. A covert operation by 423 has been suggested and is pending review. What was that again? The bookshelf room? Oh, that! Oh, they were going to use the SCP that, Fred, that just goes into the books and see what they can figure out. Okay. Next up is the Dreamcatcher Spider. Thought I might have misread that at first. Looks like a Black Widow. 452 specimens are contained in a 5x5 meter isolation chamber at Site Blanc. Specimens should be fed live insects, preferably crickets or mealworms, but other harmless insects are viable. At least once a week, and regular observation should be maintained to ensure the health of the specimens. Personnel tasked with maintenance of 452 should wear sealed suits at all times while inside 452's containment. Experiment on 452 may be performed with permission from at least one level 4 personnel, provided all safety requirements and regulations are observed. Specimens taken out of primary containment should be kept inside the specially prepared portable terrariums designated for safe use with 452. Exposure of personnel to the effects of 452 should only be performed in isolation chambers for easy recovery of the specimens after exposure. SCP-452 is a colony of Latrodectus hesperus, Western American Black Widow. Hey, I called it! Physically indistinguishable from normal spiders of its kind. 452 has a preference to spin webs near areas where humans sleep, and when allowed to freely roam will attempt to relocate if no humans sleep near its web for extended periods of over a week. When a sleeping human subject within 5 meters of a 452 web enters rapid eye movement, REM, sleep, it suppresses the subject's ability to dream, even in subjects with chronic dreams and or nightmares. Subjects upon waking generally report having had restful sleep, though several subjects also report feeling unusual like they are missing something. Furthermore, if a specimen used in this manner bites any human within approximately 1 week from the initial event, the bitten subject will suffer vivid hallucinations in addition to the normal effects of spider venom. 452 was recovered from Redacted, following intercepted hospital reports of anomalous visions experienced by spider bite victims, after which a Foundation containment team was dispatched. Experiment log number 1. Disposable dudette, female Caucasian, 29 years old, a source, and the subject was the disposable dude, Hispanic 31. Procedure, 452 in sealed terrarium placed near the bed of source for 1 week, then subject exposed to specimens resulting in subject being bitten. Antivenom administered to mitigate physical effects. Details, source confirms no recollection of dreaming during the week despite a history of recurring dreams. Subject immediately experienced vivid hallucinations for approximately 11 minutes. Upon returning to normal, described hallucination with great detail. Source later questioned and confirmed that the described hallucination matched the description of the source's recurring dream. Okay, this time, disposable dude, African American 48, is the source. The subject is disposable dude who's 26 and Caucasian. The procedure, source selected due to known diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of combat experiences and data expunged. Subject confirmed to have had no military experience or interest. Details. Source confirms no recollection of dreaming during the week, despite previously having recurring nightmares. Upon being bitten, subject experienced vivid hallucinations and is restrained after beginning to scream and thrash. After returning to normal after approximately 14 minutes, subject describes hallucinations as being in a combat zone while data expunged, the bodies of data expunged. Several details given match that of standard combat procedures as corroborated by source, which subject had no previous knowledge of. Okie dokie, so stay away from Black Widows in general. Because even though they usually just make you do a die, they might make you do that. Now it's time for the scripted Nightclub, which is Euclid. The bar and lounge area in 453 under standard lighting conditions taken at 1200 hours during off time. SCP-453 is to be staffed by no fewer than 4 bartenders, 6 bouncers, 4 cleaners, 1 doctor, 4 EMTs, and 2 observation personnel, all trained Foundation staff at all times. Additionally, 10 or more Foundation security staff are to be kept on standby in the adjacent outbuilding of 453-1, connected to 453 by basement access. All staff are required to familiarize themselves with Document 453-1, complete list of known scripts, and memorize all scripts that have been flagged by the current on-site supervisor, Dr. Morigliani. Why is memorize and familiarize spelled like that? Did somebody from the other side of the world write this one? Failure to memorize flagged scripts is grounds for immediate discharge from 453 duty and will result in a formal demerit on the offending personnel's record. 453 is to be locked and guarded between the hours of 4 a.m. and... what's that one? 8 p.m.? I think it's 4 a.m. and 8 p.m. Local time. From 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. it is to be unlocked and open. Anyone entering the club during operating hours will have a radio tracking tag clipped to his or her clothing and will remain monitored closely by closed-circuit cameras at all times. During the day, 453 is to be inspected and measured in all dimensions by staff. Any movement of fixed objects in the building are to be recorded and reported to head researcher Dr. Morigliani. Fire prevention and violent suppression protocols are to be kept in accordance with Standing Order 405991, Section T. Should movement of fixed internal structures violate this protocol, renovation crews are to be recruited to the site immediately for restructuring. So what is it? 453 is a nightclub located in Blanc, Italy, currently owned and operated entirely by Foundation personnel. Every night, a apparently random assortment of civilians from Blanc and adjoining municipalities arrive at the club. Although the night invariably begins identically to any other club, over the course of the night, the civilians fall present into roles in one of Blanc, currently documented sequences of events, termed scripts by Foundation operatives working on 453. Over the course of the evening, generally according to script, civilians will depart the club and return home, maintaining only partial memories of the night. All surviving civilians departed before 4 a.m. every night. 453 has existed in its current location for as long as Foundation records exist. Archaeological evidence suggests a wealthy Roman senator known for extravagant nightly parties had a villa in the location as early as Blanc BCE. That Foundation has had possession of the site since something. On several occasions, the building has been torn down or destroyed. Outdoor parties continue to persist nightly at the site. When the site itself is rendered inaccessible, civilian partygoers will gather as near as possible to the site and begin an impromptu street party. This party rapidly devolves into a riot, see document 453-1, complete list of known scripts attached. The club in its current configuration was designed and built entirely according to Foundation specifications. All core construction materials are SCP containment grade to limit damage due to the more violent scripts. Dr. Morigliani has observed that the building has shown some self-mutational ability. I'll say mutilation. Oops. Of particular note has been the gradual shift of the location of the secure locker containing suppression weaponry for staff use. It has moved closer and closer to the men's washroom. At this time, it remains in the secure staff section. Other sections of the building have slowly moved or changed in similar ways. A complete log of known scripts is attached as document 453-1. The selection of a script appears to be semi-random, although various stimuli will encourage particular scripts to occur. For example, script 117, the Silver Harlequins, has only been observed when more than 15 club attendees are over the age of 60. Please note that while script logs detail pertinent events, all events in the club aside from staff actions become scripted at around 2100 hours, that varies depending on script. Participants begin speaking in Latin while engaged in script, although music, dance styles, alcohol, etc. remain modern. Complete logs of all recorded actions, lines, and requests for each script are available on request from Dr. Morigliani. In its current configuration, 453 has shown preference for at least 3 scripts in particular. These 3 account for roughly 80% of the scripts seen and represent a good cross-section of the general types of scripts 453 is capable of. These follow, listed in order of frequency. 43, the cheating wife. Low priority, low fatality. Staff medical intervention required at 2307 hours for 43 male C and recommended for 43 males A and B. Medical treatment of 43 wife at 2319 hours is also recommended, but is conditional on consent from 43 wife, as she will have left the script at this point. Pertinent events. At 2149, a female 43 wife between the ages of 20 and 25 will withdraw to the men's washroom, followed within 2 minutes by 3 males between the ages of 20 and 40. Between 2152 and 2250, data expunged. At 2255, a male civilian, 43 husband, will enter 453, order a bottle of red wine, and proceed immediately to the washroom. 43 husband will beat male A and B to unconsciousness using the bottle, C will receive minor brain trauma. Prompt medical attention will allow 43 male C to recover within 1 week. 43 husband drags 43 wife out of the washroom and proceeds to data expunged, screaming epithets about infidelity and marriage in Latin. Other participants of the club pay no attention. Husband drags wife out of 253 at 2319, at which point they leave the script and 43 wife can be retrieved for medical intervention. Aftermath. Despite the trauma of the events, wife shows no memory of them the following day. When injuries are pointed out, she reacts with shock. Husband remembers the events vaguely, but will not believe they were anything but a nightmare. Reacts violently to interrogating agent if pressed in this manner. The 3 males remember getting in a bar fight, but not the cause. Notes. None of the participants of this script have any relationship or prior knowledge of each other. If introduced after the events of the script, participant's wife and the males will have a rational hatred of husband. This applies to anyone who has previously participated in the script as one of these roles, even on different dates. Husband finds himself extremely attracted to wife. Further post-script introduction of husband and wife has been denied after data expunged. It is of some interest to note that, despite capably handling the males in combat, the script appears to preferentially select a husband who is diminutive in stature and in poor physical condition, while the males are typically large and physically fit. Experiment log S43. Deviation though, male washroom is closed and locked after wife enters. Result: 4 new individuals, locksmiths, arrive at the washroom almost immediately after it is closed, forcibly opening the door in order to use the facilities. Events proceed as usual with a 12-minute delay. These individuals appear to be able to circumvent any lock we have thus far applied to the door, including SCP Blanc. Deviation: husband is denied access to a full bottle of alcohol, given a glass instead. Husband takes a bar stool into the washroom. Wife and A and C are killed instead of injured. Male suffers irrecoverable spinal injuries. Use of 427 authorized to enable recovery of this civilian. Isn't that the Lovecraftian locket? Pretty sure that's the Lovecraftian locket. Deviation: 4 Foundation personnel enter the men's washroom and attempt to subdue husband using suppressive weaponry. See video log 4339. Foundation personnel subdued by husband, who reacts immediately to the arrival of the Foundation personnel before any attack is made, disarming them and destroying their weaponry after suppressing them with it. Foundation personnel ignored from this point onwards. Script proceeds as usual with a 3-minute delay. Note: direct intervention in scripted events should be handled much more carefully in light of data expunged. We were very lucky this time. Script 21, the Senator's Visit. High priority, medium fatality. Staff were to immediately prepare the triage in room 12 on commencement of this script at 22:13 hours. Medical intervention will commence at 22:59 hours. Most medical intervention will be aided by autopsy information from previous script occurrences. Attached in document S21 Mead. Pertinent events. At 22:13, a civilian, 21 Senator, will arrive in 453 accompanied by a retinue of 13 servants, 21 servant A through M. The servants will arrive carrying improvised weaponry. On arrival of Senator, conversation at club ceases for 4 minutes. 3 civilians already present, assassins A and B and activists, withdraw to the corners of the club and confer with uninvolved civilians over the importance of 21 Senator's arrival. At 22:17, the Senator's retinue clears him a table near the very center of the room, and he begins demanding extravagant food and drinks. The types of food and drink vary depending on currently available menu items. If insufficiently expensive menu items are available, Senator will demand complicated dishes made from ingredients presently available in 453. He has shown the ability to predict accurately exactly what ingredients and cooking methods are possible within the facilities on hand in 453. Despite Foundation efforts to the contrary, Senator's orders are always completed at 22:27, 22:39, and 22:50 hours. This is one of only a few occasions where the script will directly alter the actions of Foundation staff on site. At 22:40, activists will approach Senator and begin heckling him regarding the treatment of slaves in Blanc, a Roman city. 3 minutes into her speech, Servant A, B, and C will forcibly remove activists and assault her with their improvised weaponry. She'll be left for dead at the side of the main club room at 22:59 hours and should be taken to triage immediately. 23:21, at 23:21 hours, Assassin A will approach Senator, produce a bladed weapon, and attack him. Servants C, D, E, and F will respond immediately, disabling and killing Assassin. No intervention has as yet been able to prevent this. At 23:45, Assassin B will incite a bar fight and a gaggle of civilians along the easternmost wall of the club. 4 minutes after starting the commotion, Assassin B will stab servants A, B, D, F, J, K, and M, running rapidly through the brawl towards Senator. Servants B, F, and K can immediately be removed as they will be on the edge of the escalating brawl and should be taken to triage immediately. Servant A can be removed at 23:56 hours as the crowd moves away, but should be treated for trampling as well. Servants D, J, and M will not be retrievable until 10 hours and must receive immediate top priority attention or die. See S21 Med. That's probably not actually going to be in there. At 23:50 hours, Assassin B reaches Senator and engages in combat with Servant C. Both receive critical injuries as Senator attempts to escape. Assassin B finally disables Servant C and charges Senator at 23:53, stabbing him in the neck. Any attempts to recover Senator or Servant C have met with further violence and casualties from Assassin B and should not be attempted. From 23:55 to 1:15 hours, the bar brawl continues to escalate. A full list of injuries and possible civilian recovery times is attached in S21 Med, although no further fatal injuries will be experienced. At 1:19, 19 civilians, Vigils A through S, will enter 453 all armed with improvised weapons and shields and subdue the crowd using tactics believed to be consistent with Roman Vigils. The Vigils will then clear out the club. Injured civilians can be recovered as they exit the club and will not exhibit any further scripted behavior. 453 may be locked at 200 hours following an instance of Script 21. All staff should immediately report to triage to aid medical staff. Aftermath. No participants of Script 21 show any memory of the actual events. All remember being involved in a violent bar fight and remember that some people were badly hurt. Other memories are fuzzy, consistent with serious intoxication. Notes. This is one of the historically most common events, having occurred for as long as the Foundation has known about this site. It has diminished somewhat in frequency. As the most violent of the common scripted events, it is required that all 453 staff be completely familiar with the exact sequence of all events in the script, both for their own safety and to diminish civilian casualties as much as possible. Experiment Log S21 Special. To date, any attempted intervention in Script 21 has resulted in either neutral results, such as being unable to change the time required to prepare the Senator's meals, or 453 staff becoming part of the scripted events, in which case the staff invariably suffers serious injuries. Further testing has been denied pending Level 4 authorization. Previous logs are available on request. And now for this script, the Plurality Cult. Top priority, high fatality. If no known script has manifested at 000 hours, or basically at midnight, staff are advised to prepare for the possibility of a Script 82 event. A weapons check is advised, followed by donning of riot gear and gas masks treated to resist Type 14 neurotoxin. Oh. Civilians are to be told that the riot gear is a part of a theme night and issued non-functional decorative goggles if they wish to participate. Pertinent events. Script 82 will not manifest until 2 AM. Until this time, 453 will be fully inactive and events entirely mundane. At 2:01 in the morning, one attendee, Prime, will move to the center of the room and proclaim in Latin, "The time of plurality has come." Between 50 and 90% of the other civilians in the club, hereafter referred to as cultists, will respond, "We embrace the many." Note, any Foundation staff observed to reply in kind are to be terminated immediately and without hesitation by the nearest staff member. At this stage, intervention 453-82 Pariah is to commence. The following sequence of events is a summary of Pariah. 453 staff must read and memorize the attached full protocol. At the selection of Prime, staff observers will identify civilians who did not respond to Prime's announcement using software provided for this purpose. These civilians will be flagged on the HUDs of all Foundation personnel riot helmets. Priority 1 is to secure these civilians and remove them to Holding Area 11. Holding Area 11 is to be secured by no fewer than 2 armed personnel. Any cultists approaching within 5 meters of Holding Area 11 should be met with lethal force. Should the number of uninvolved civilians be too great to contain in Holding Area 11 before 2:15, either due to space or staff restrictions, all Foundation personnel are ordered to cease attempting to contain civilians and instead begin subduing any and all cultists. Non-lethal force is preferred. Cultists must be rendered unconscious or completely restrained, but lethal force is authorized and encouraged if Pariahs proceeding slower than anticipated. Prime must not be harmed or interrupted in any way. Between 2:01 and 2:25, Prime will lead the cultists in a Latin chant. They will not respond to attacks by Foundation staff, and unaffected civilians will act as though nothing is going on. At 2:25, if either all civilians have been contained and or all cultists have been subdued, the script will end with Prime laughing hysterically, toasting the club, and returning to normal. The rest of the evening will proceed as though 253 were a mundane club, and all participants will dissipate before 4 o'clock. If, by 2:25, cessation of chanting, there remain any civilians and cultists, complete elimination of one of the other faction is sufficient prevention. In 453, Pariah is to be immediately aborted and all staff are to engage all non-Foundation personnel inside 453, civilians and cultists, with the exception of Prime, with maximum prejudice. Observation personnel are to trigger release of Type 14 neurotoxic gas into 453. Prime is, as previously not to be attacked. Note that Prime is proven resistant to Type 14 neurotoxic gas. No other gas types are authorized. If Prime is harmed in any way, or if any civilians or cultists remain active by 2:30, observation personnel are required to activate site self-destruct mechanisms immediately. If by 3 o'clock contact with 453 has been lost without registration or of a successful self-destruct, observational staff are required to notify all Foundation listening posts by transmission frequency redacted. Advise potential Blanc K class scenario. Aftermath. No surviving participants will remember Script 82, remembering only a pleasant night at the club, even if Operation Pariah failed, with the exception of 82 Prime. Those who participated as 82 Prime will have recurring nightmares featuring data expunged, typically leading to loss of sleep, decreased productivity, and eventual insanity. For this reason, staff should capture former Prime participants as they leave the club and remit them to Site Blanc for therapy and monitoring. Notes: despite the severity of this script, Pariah is typically extremely effective. An abort has not been necessary since blank 19-something, and a full failure has not been observed since December 16th, 1857. However, reports indicate that Script 82 has become increasingly common since data expunged. Is that the Lovecraftian locket? Yep. Okay, so that brings us to the comic book. Which is safe. Cool. SCP-454 should be kept in a plastic bag with a thin piece of acid-free cardstock. This can then be contained with standard procedures and minimal security. There is no need for psychological containment. What? 454 is a comic book titled The Crypt of Terror. The front cover has a picture of a female nervously looking around, with a shadowy figure some distance behind her. The price is listed as 10 cents in the issue number 17. The item bears slight damage from age and normal wear. Although the cover mentions a werewolf, the story does not. Showing a subject and photograph of the item will not trigger an attempt to obtain it. It has no unusual physical or mental effects on subject who has seen no more than blank pages of the interior. Such subjects experience a mild desire to read the item, but it is no greater than that provoked by any other interesting item. The interior story of the comic, as far as researchers are able to deduce, concerns a woman being stalked by a mysterious force. Julia, the protagonist, refers to the force only as him. Much of the story concerns Julia's efforts to escape him. She finally believes that she has bested it, only for it to data expunged. The first and last pages also bear a number of advertisements normal for 1950s era comics, which do not display the item's primary effect. If a subject who shows normal levels of empathy begins to read the comic, they will become more and more interested in it, expressing fear and relief as the story progresses, and finally horror when it ends. Subject's psychological state descends into excessive denial and depression as the story ends. After reading the comic, subjects begin to think and talk solely about a need to save Julia from him. If given time alone and appropriate materials, subjects write or draw continuations of the story in an effort to provide a continuation where Julia survives. Each of these efforts will end with Julia dead as before, however. In the event that a subject should make Julia survive through Deus Ex Machina or similar plot devices, they will throw away their effort, saying that it does not fit into the story. These efforts come to occupy a great deal of the subject's time and effort. Blank percent of subjects suffer from severe depression, becoming withdrawn and uncommunicative. Higher than normal rates of suicide have been observed. Interviews with subjects and study of notes left behind show some sense of helplessness of having failed Julia. Subjects with a history of data expunged undergo an additional event. The subject will write themselves into the story, claiming to have found the perfect way to save Julia personally. Approximately blank of such subjects are subsequently found data expunged. Misogynistic or low empathy subjects display no psychological effect and show no interest in the comic or the characters after reading. Addendum. In a recent experiment, disposable dudes with normal levels of empathy were instructed to read the comic and placed in isolation. After blank attempts, one subject claimed to have found a way to save Julia. He was found dead with data expunged. The security camera in his room suffered electrical disturbances during the event, in which a figure was seen briefly standing in the room. No signs of entry were seen. The security team was placed on probation. It's kind of messed up. It's not their fault some weird spooky creature from a comic book showed up and killed a guy. And now the cargo ship. It's Euclid, and really messed up looking. Object SCP-455 cannot be moved nor contained in any structure. Containment must be made on site. No exploration or testing is to be made on or in 455. No personnel are to remain in close proximity for more than 5 minutes. All physical contact with 455 is forbidden. Any personnel breaking this order are to be quarantined. Any hallucinations experienced near 455 are to be recorded and logged. Any personnel experiencing hallucinations are to be transferred. Any personnel attempting to enter 455 are to be restrained by any means deemed necessary. 455 is a large cargo ship currently run aground on the southern coast of Chile. Most of its structure is underwater and badly damaged, with rust coating 85 to 90% of all surfaces. Internal structure appears to be significantly larger than external dimensions, and is not flooded despite large holes visible on outer hull. Internal structure appears to be a random assortment of assembly of rooms, halls, and structures. Initial salvage teams reported rooms made of human teeth, an engine with tendon strips for timing belts, a hall extending for 600 feet beyond where the outer hull should terminate, an open gym with a room with steel walls as pliant as taffy, and numerous audio and visual hallucinations. Team was lost after reporting entry to central navigation. Rescue team lost after reporting the investigation of screaming in a cargo section. Dr. Blanc, that's a long name, has suggested the use of robots to map the interior of 455 after the failure of several manned exploration teams. So, Experiment Log 455 details the attempts to explore 455 and information established despite their failures overall. And then Exploration Log Record 455-3, record of last major exploration attempt by MTF Zeta 9. So, there's an experiment log, a tale, and that. And we're going to check out all three of them. So, first encounter. Should I read this with a serious voice or just go for it? Initial reports of disappearance of a salvage operation regarding 455 led to its classification in our databases. A research team of 5 members was dispatched to confirm status of civilian researchers. This team consisted of 2 field analysts and 3 security personnel. Due to the low threat level initially given to a breached cargo vessel, no direct contact was kept with this team. Team orders required 1 contact to their control HQ every 24 hours. After 3 days of uneventful activity, team failed to report in, and after 2 days of lost contact, a secondary team was dispatched to investigate lapse in communication. This team consisted of 10 standard field agents with standard gear for confrontation with humanoid aggressors. A search of the vicinity of 455 discovered encampment of the first research team in a condition that suggested an anticipated return. A rice cooker left running for several days contained heavily burnt food. Research laptops were left on and running, powered by the site's portable generator. An analysis of the reports on the laptop indicated minimal activity of note from the site or from 455 up until the date of ceased communications. The last entry mentions recording of human voices coming from deep within 455, and the departure of the team to investigate for possible missed survivors from the salvage operation. After reporting in the state of Team 1's camp, Team 2 was ordered to maintain constant radio contact through the remote system already on camp. What follows is an abbreviated transcript of the audio recorded during Team 2's investigation of 455 in search of Team 1. HQ, this is TL2, please respond. TL2, this is HQ, we have you loud and clear, over. Understood, HQ, we are above deck on the vessel now. Sun is still up, we can still see the hold, but not very far. Flashlights aren't helping matters much. We're foregoing direct descent to the hull and are going to use the stairs to the crew decks and access it from there, so we're not separated. Is this acceptable, HQ, over? Roger, TL? Or TL, 2TL, whatever, TTL. T2L, you have complete discretion from here forward, over. We've been out of contact with Team 1 for a couple days now already. A few more minutes won't hurt them. Proceed swiftly but cautiously. And consequential audio deleted. HQ, this is T2L. We've got an anomaly here, over. T2L, this is HQ. What's the situation? We're on deck 3 so far of the vessel, sir, but it's taken us like half an hour to get down this far. Something's not quite right about the distance between floors for us to spend 10 minutes getting between each. Understood, T2L. We suggest you send 1 member back out to the surface and then have him return. Please update us over to the elapsed time, over. Inconsequential audio deleted. T2L here, HQ. We sent the man up as advised and he returned in 4 minutes. Sent him back twice in a sprint, 2 minutes. We all recorded 30 to get down this far at least, and we all recorded our scouts' return times as well. There is definitely something inconsistent. Proceed as planned, T2L. Time lapses have been recorded, but we see no need to abort the mission over this. Please use precautions when these lapses occur and immediately try to raise us if you suspect one, so we can confirm it since last contact. In addition, if radio silence has encountered, use utmost discretion. T2L, respond. T2L? Fuck. HQ, this is T2L. Please repeat. T2L, where the flying fist fuck have you been? We were just talking, sir. How long ago? Sir, 30 seconds? Maybe 50? Guys? Yeah, less than a minute. T2L, please be advised, we've been out of contact with you for 16 hours! Give or take, over. Sir? That can't be right, you were just... Listen, I don't know what the shit is going on out there, but this is what I want you to do. Get to the bottom of those fucking stairs, search the hold, report back as soon as you get there, and then get the fuck out. Do I make myself clear? Sir, yes sir, out! Sir, we're apparently at the bottom of the ship now, 5 floors down by our count. Standard for a cargo vessel this size. We're approaching the hold now, and T2L, this is HQ, and something is odd about the doors, sir. Details, T2L, define odd. Well, it's pristine, sir. The rest of the ship is something of a shithole, but this door looks like it just came out of the metal press. Noted, T2L. Proceed through using maximum caution, weapons ready. Sir, yes, sir! Proceeding to open the door. Background lock system can be heard disengaging. We're looking into the hold now, sir, and moving forward. Remain silent for now, T2L. Focus on searching the hold and getting topside. Background sound of door slamming closed and lock system rotating back into place. The fuck? Did you close that? No, sir, it did it on its own. T2L. What the hell? We appear to be locked in now, HQ, but we can see daylight above us, so we can probably rappel out if the door won't... What is that? HQ, there appear to be people down here with us, estimating 15 or so people in the corner huddled together. They look injured and we're approaching. Hey, that's Don! Don! Man, wake up! Wait... Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. HQ, come in! HQ, come in! Come in, come in! T2L, this is HQ, what is it? We found the salvage team and the first team. They're here and... I don't know if they're alive or not, but they're... T2L? They're what, T2L? Come on! Or come in! Wait, where did Ramses go? He was right... Daniel? Vincent! What the fuck? HQ, come in, we just lost 4 members. T2L makes sense. What do you mean lost? I hear no weapons fire. They're just gone, sir. They were standing behind us at flank and they're just gone! Spencer? What? Someone shot a light on Spencer. Where'd he go? Son of a bitch. T2L, what's going on in there? HQ, we've lost 4 men apparently. They were just at the rear of us and now they're gone. Unknown sounds similar to sliding metal. T2L? T2L, respond! Respond? Where the hell did he go now? HQ! Come in, HQ! T2L, we're here. Please respond. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. They responded. Guys, HQ responded! HQ, this is Baker, and I'm here with Jensen and Thomas from Team 2 sent to... We know who you're with, Baker. We were just talking to TL2 about 10 seconds ago. Where's... HQ, we haven't heard from you in 2 weeks. We're out of rations, though we found some food in one of the crew rooms. T2L's been dead since we were in the hold. He went to investigate the people in the hold, and as soon as he approached them, that hatch in the back, it flew open, made a huge noise. We all turned to look at it, then back to T2L, and he was gone. Him and those people in the corner just gone like the others. We searched the ship up and down, but we never found him. Did you return to the surface for supplies, Baker? That ship should only be 5 floors. We never thought to do that. This ship is at least 30 floors, HQ, at least. But we found a crew quarters with food, and we've been... Baker, our first team reported that ship had been ashore for at least 30 years, maybe more. What exact food did you find in there that was edible? Baker? 30 years? Baker, listen closely. I want you, and whoever's left, to get topside immediately. We're dispatching a rescue team to... Gunshot, gunshot. Baker? Gunshot. Baker, come in! What the fuck is going on over there? A third team of heavily armored recon units was dispatched to 455 site and investigated the cargo hold from above deck using high-powered flashlights and flares. No trace of any life was in the hold, nor was there any trace that there had ever been life there. Reports indicate a layer of dust and rust approximate to be an inch thick as determined by the cloud and dispersal caused by dropping flares into the hold. Team 3 was recalled and a high-priority research team deployed to 455 for deeper investigation as to the fate of all 3 missing groups. Team 3. After the failure of the first two teams dispatched to 455, a third team was put together and sent. Maybe y'all should stop doing this. This team was composed of more veteran members with a far more experience exploring and investigating sites of interest or risk. This team was composed of 5 persons and included an additional technician who would remain outside 455 at all times to maintain communications linked to the team. Unknown to Team 3, a 4th team coded Ripcord, composed of 5 members as well, was put on standby on site approximately 10 miles away. Their purpose was emergency evac of Team 3 should it become necessary, and they were to proceed to 455 site immediately after Team 3 entered it to reduce response time. Team 3's issued gear included 2 separate video recording units, one issued to the leader T3L, and one to a video specialist T3V. This was deemed necessary due to the lapses in time experienced during Team 2's investigation. One member of Team 3 was instructed to enter 455 through the cargo loading area directly and would be tethered to land by a pulley system. What was this entry called again? Just cargo ship? Okay. T3L, this is HQ. We are online and receiving feeds, over. Roger, HQ, this is T3L. We are preparing to enter the ship via the stairs. Evans is in position at the cargo hold. Understood. Proceed through both entrances and move directly to the cargo hold to rendezvous with Evans. T3V is recording his descent and all floodlights are active within the hold as well as the ones on the deck. Team 3's primary force proceeded down the stairs into 455 while its secondary unit descended into the cargo hold where Team 2 disappeared. Within 3 minutes of descending into 455, the primary force's video feed ended. The secondary force experienced no issues at all and waited in the cargo hold under the observation of T3V, who recorded what consisted of 5 minutes of Evans walking in circles, dancing a brief jig, and waving up at the camera. HQ considered sending T3V to investigate the stairs, but it was decided that full attention should be paid to Evans, who was within 455 and experiencing no anomalous activity. During mounting concern on whether to abort or proceed with the mission, T3L's video feed returned. T3L, respond immediately, over. We lost feed to you, what happened? HQ! HQ, come in, you're there, oh god. This is T3L. We've lost 2 men. Somehow the rest of us are still alive. This place is... T3L, how much time has passed for your unit? Time? 10 hours, sir. We came out here 10 hours ago. And, now slow down, T3L. Are you in a safe location at this current moment? Yes, we're fine in this room. Seems to be food storage. Touch nothing in that room! T3L, and listen closely to me. The mission has been in progress for 5 minutes. Evans is in the hold, apparently doing the hammer now. Now listen. I want you to detail to me exactly what has happened, and do not leave that room. Do not eat anything in that room. Take a deep breath, secure the entryway, and talk to me. T3L explained that they had proceeded down 20 floors within the ship when divers established that it can't possibly have been more than 6 from the exterior. During this time, T3V was instructed to raise Evans back out of the cargo area and secure him topside. Okay. Okay? Relax. Okay. HQ? Okay. We proceeded down the stairs as normal. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until we noticed we had gone down far more flights than it should have taken to get to the bottom and enter the cargo area. We sent Eric up to retrace our steps, and he was only able to go up 2 floors. We had descended, at my count, at least 15. There was no hatch back to the surface, the stairs just went up to the ceiling and ended. We could hear every word from his location. Eric then said the hatch to that floor was open, and he saw someone in it leaning against a wall. They were well within earshot of us as well, but hadn't reacted to any of our conversation. Keep going, T3L. So, Eric? He goes through the hatch to try and figure out who this person is. They hadn't moved, hadn't shown any hostility, and according to him, they weren't even looking our direction, like we didn't exist to them. Suddenly we heard gunfire, so the entire team rushed up 2 flights, and just like he said, the stairs just stopped at the ceiling, and the floor hatch was open. Nobody was in that hallway, not a soul. No Eric, no second person, no bullet shells, nothing. But the walls... The walls? The walls were wrong, hazy, like you were viewing them through a gas leak. They were flowing in fluid, just wrong. I closed the hatch. I don't know why I didn't go in and look for Eric, but I felt like I couldn't. I wrote him off as lost immediately. I wasn't going in there or sending any of my men in to go after him. Understood, T3L. Keep going. So the rest of the squad, we go back down the stairs. Can't go up, not going in that hallway. All the rest of the floors are closed off. We went down maybe 10 more flights? Then the stairs started changing. They were solid metal like aluminum, but now there were holes in the steps and the metal looked rusted in some places, old. Like the rest of the ship. Up until now, everything seemed rather clean. It didn't dawn on me immediately that the clean parts were actually stranger than the old parts. We found a food storage area down here. Everything seems in good shape, but we didn't touch any of it yet. I read the Team 2 logs. I sent a man out into the hall to see what we could do on this floor. There seems to be a series of ladders and a group at the far end, but the entirety of this floor is food storage. It actually doesn't make sense why there are so many of these rooms. I'm taking over 20 on this one floor, and they're all big enough for 10 people to stand inside and have room to move. Some of them are locked, probably for the best. And the ladders? We haven't gone down them yet. We wanted to see if we could get someone from the outside first. Down? They go down? What the flaming shit is Okay. Dapper Jesus of the Gentleman's Club. So, sweet Dapper Jesus of the Gentleman's Club. Look, I don't want to put any of you at risk, but we need to find you a way out of there. If you can't go back up, and you can only go down, only send one man. T3V and Evans are topside and perfectly fine. We're sending a diving crew around the ship exterior to see if we can pinpoint your location inside it using thermal. Understood, sir. Contact with T3L was lost after this transmission and remained disconnected for 12 hours. Divers around 455 could not effectively scan the ship wreckage through thermal as the ship exhibited temperatures far higher than the water surrounding it. At sunrise, T3V and Evans were ordered to return to 455 and reinvestigate the ship through the cargo hold. Upon activation of the cargo lights, all missing members of Team 3 were found within the cargo hold in an apparent catatonic state. Only the member Eric, who went missing per the Team 3 recordings, was unaccounted for. All remaining members remained in a state of stasis until removed from the ship and left undisturbed for approximately an hour. All recall moving down the mentioned ladders in the last transmission, but nothing after that point that would lead them to being in the cargo hold. Team 3 exploration ended and robotic exploration is now a viable option. Okay. Rusted Nightmares. Run! The rusted metal stretches as far as it can be seen. The runner does not care that this is only for a few feet in front of himself, but as far as he's concerned, the claustrophobic corridor stretches on forever. And it does. But not for him. Don't stop! A woman slams against a steel door, pristine and shining in the darkness of the hold. Rust flakes from the door as she throws herself against the steel, panting heavily. Her fingernails crack as they scrabble against the smooth face of the door, frantically searching for something to turn. They'll never stop looking. Not like this. A man walks slowly through a room filled with steaming belts and pistons. A human eye rolls towards him as a face stretches across a belt, locked in a rictus of pain and agony. A human elbow rapidly pumps in a nearby machine, forcing an unidentifiable chunk of something in and out. A pair of empty eye sockets stare into him. He will never look away. Make it stop! A man sprints into a dead-end room, stopping to stare at the wall. He screams and turns, a cry of rage and confusion and hurt, only to see the door slam shut behind him. He will never leave, until his flashlight dies. Pain? Deep within the rusted hulk, a woman screams. She's been screaming for seconds, for years. She does not know the difference. She only knows that she should never have entered this place of death and steel and meat. She'll never correct her mistake. No escape. A man stands atop a rusted deck, gaunt and pale from his days spent in the darkness, searching for an exit. A spotlight waves over him, a boat is sent, and a crew arrives to rescue him. The man, overjoyed, moves to jump. He does not hit the water. Stay with us. In the heart of the ship, 1,000 voices scream in agony. All are lost, many for hundreds of years, some for days. All are screaming the same soul-wrenching scream that only the dying know. And they will never stop. The team was lost after reporting entry to Central Navigation. Rescue team lost after reporting the investigation of screaming in a cargo session. And then there's the exploration log record 3. Central record notation. Following document contains the whole and entirety of exploration log record 455-3. Omissions are as follows. Key names as detailed in CR Law 1881 3D, subsection 4. Key dates as detailed in CR Law 1881 7E, subsection 5 to 8. O5 discretionary omissions as detailed in CR Law 137A. Requests for omitted data may be remanded to Central Records for for addressed during quarterly review hearings. Emergency recall may be granted on direct approval from 305 command members. Exploration team personnel consists of 3 MTF Zeta 9 members, Mr. A, Mr. R, and Ms. S, 2 agents, Mr. G and Sir K, and 1 disposable dude, D11. The team is equipped with basic Foundation equipment packaged for semi-aquatic/hostile environment exploration, in addition to the Mark V Heavy Recon Nautilus class suits issued to Zeta 9 team members. 2 mobile recon vehicles, commonly called MARVs, are also issued. Mission time begins at 8 AM on blank blank blank. MARV 1 malfunctions during initial transfer of team from observation platform to 455 and is recalled. MARV 2 continues normal operation and remains in the water as the team climbs the deck to 455. Holy hell! How is this heap even staying afloat? It's not floating, it's grounded out. This is just the part that sticks up. Is it even safe to walk on? What if it gives way? Oh, relax, big boy. What was it now? Okay, S is a lady. There's Mr., Mr., and Mrs. Oh, relax, big boy. You've been on deck for over 30 seconds. You already beat the last team's time. Radio silence for 10 seconds. Team proceeds to the cabin area near the center section of 455, with MARV 2 falling at sea level. Oh, hell no. No, not a chance. You can shoot my happy ass, but I'm not going down there. It's not a request. Walk or be strapped to the MARV and floated. Your choice. What a bullshit way to make parole. Okay, kiddos. Masked on. Rats, canned air from here on out. Are your seals still good? Let me check. Good. G, get those tanks on D11. Team proceeds down the main stairwell of the cabin area. Area below is mostly flooded. MARV 2 joins the team by a large puncture below the waterline. Nothing weird yet. We have a small chamber with halls off to the left and right. MARV 2 appears to be working fine. Hi, guys! I say left. Left keeps us in the ship proper. Right seems to be staking off outside physical dimensions. Was it Sir? Who was K? Sir K. We go right. We are under advisement to explore the extra dimensional segments for possible details. No, we go left. Right will take us down the rabbit hole of screwed much too fast. It's not a discussion. Listen, asshole. The fuck is? Let it go. It's not. I will stop touching my foot, guys. Sudden burst of radio static, along with several inarticulate voices and the sound of grinding metal, continues for 8 seconds. Jesus! Did we just rock? Hey, is there any record of movement in 455? Not one. Guys, can you still see us? Any movement from 455? Base team reports 0 movement of any kind from or around 455. Where's the Class D? Several seconds of radio silence. I had eyes on him the whole time. He was against this wall. What is? Oh, are you? Get your pick and get that out of the wall. Metal can't do that. It's like it rusted the tooth right out along with it. It's like it's been there for ages. 3 seconds of radio silence. D11 is now missing, presumed dead or otherwise unable to be retrieved. Proceeding down right hallway. Let's move. Team proceeds down hallway, followed by MARV 2. Video data shows hallway slightly tilted to the right with 80% flooding. Team is equipped with wetsuits and air tanks. All equipment appears to be working normally. Shit. We have contact. Oh. Reporting water appears to end abruptly at the end of the hole. It appears some sort of force is keeping the water out of the next chamber. The division is very precise and can be crossed without incident. It's like an invisible force. Christ, the room's so damn blue. It's really bright, almost looks fresh. Dead end too. Looks like we go left after all, but the hallway's gone! The fuck shit. Visual contact with team is suddenly lost for 2 seconds. Once contact is returned, MARV 2 shows a flooded cargo section of 455. No trace of team is seen anywhere. MARV 2 is unresponsive to the controls for 22 seconds. MARV 2 suddenly accelerates at a much higher velocity than it's capable of, impacting with a rusted wall. Video continues for 4 seconds after impact. Plant matter observed during the last 2 seconds of video matches no known species and appears exceptionally hostile. Base team was unable to send transmissions to exploration team. This, entry hole is now gone. It appears the door is now opens to a shaft, with several ladders going down. The top of the shaft is in line with the top of the hatch to the door. There appears to be water leakage from several seams in the roof with... I can't see the bottom, at all. The thing goes down a mile! With some flaking rust falling as well. The MARV appears to have vanished as well. Okay, we go down and look for the nearest exit point or way up. If we don't find anything in half an hour, I want RNS to start excavation charges on a wall until something opens up. Roger the hell out of that! I'll start now if you like. Everyone down the hole, watch your feet. If anything feels weak, skip to the next rung. I want safety lines on every several seconds of metallic screeching along with 2 bass throbs. Contact is lost for 4 seconds. Down, 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 down! God, it's closing up. It's my shepherd. I shot it. Blow the door! The floor, for fuck's sake! 18 seconds of radio silence. It's in his bloody eye. Help him up. Just get him over there. Mary, full of grace. 4 heavy bass throbs followed by screeching. Sound appears to be comprised of many individuals, with many non-human animal mechanical sounds being isolated. In weeks, I can't find them anymore. The way is too curved. I can't The radio silence for 8 seconds. The other day, upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, I wish Howie'd go away. Oh God, make it stop crying. Radio contact lost for 20 minutes. Mission called as failure at 8:13 hours. Sporadic contact made over the next 2 seconds recorded as follows. My foot is evaporating! Help! 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 They're just illusion of efficiency. Oh, Jesus! 20 seconds of a single sustained scream. Yes! Home. I want my home. I don't want to feel the rest of me anymore. Soft crying, barely audible. Got it! I shot it! Maybe? We haven't tried it up in a few days. I'll eat it, but not because... It's cold. No radio contact with team reported beyond this point. Radio monitoring is ongoing. Single report, 1 month after mission end, of Ms. S observed waving from the deck. Report filed by a single watch guard and not verified by any other sources. Okay, so... What was the cargo ship again? Euclid. Okay, so it's probably Euclid because it, from appearances, doesn't move, and containment is pretty much just keep it there. Also, I don't like how, by the time I got to the end of that entry, the amount of memory my computer has left is 455. That's uncomfortable. Anyway, this has been Anashi Sasuke. This was episode 101 of Let's Read the SP Foundation Wiki. In the next episode, we're going to start with soporific bedbugs and go up through the Seance Storm. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe will be groovy. If you didn't, you don't need to do either one of those things, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later!